Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Women of Dance. My name is Sharonne Vinokurov, and I am your host for today's episode. I am really excited about our guest today. Not only is she incredibly talented, but she's also a dear friend of mine. I love this girl, and I am so excited to have her on. We have so much to catch up on, so much to talk about. So I'm going to bring her on right away. Without further ado, here is today's guest, the fabulous Destiny Garcia.
Hey,
Hi.
what's up?
What's up, girl?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm so glad to have you on this show because I love you to pieces. You're one of my favorite people in this business. Just your heart is like, ugh, I love you. So I'm so excited to have you on and just let everybody get to know all about you, your career, your success, all the work that you put in. Because I feel like not everybody knows just how much you really do in this scene, right? Not
Yeah.
just as a dancer, but like you wear a lot of hats, and we're gonna get into all of it today.
Woo.
Before we get to the stuff that everybody knows, let's talk about your background, right? So, how did your dance life begin?
Well, first and foremost, thank you for having me on. Hi, Belle. Um, Thank you for having me
Of
on.
course.
This is really cool. I'm excited. And like you said, I'm not normally in this type of, you know, position where I'm like, I'm sharing myself like this. So I'm like, anyway, so my history, I started, so I've always danced at home. Right? This
Okay.
is my culture. This is my growing up in my household. My grandmother, you know, dances, dance all the time. Both my grandmothers, right? They were always dancing what we know as salsa, what when we hear the rhythm, what right? So I've always had it in me. It's always kind of been in my body and my I've always done it. I growing up, I would learn literally sit in front of the TV and learn choreographies to different artists.
Mhm.
Whoever the artist was at the time, I was watching the choreography. I was learning it. Um, so I was, I'm a street dancer. I didn't growing up. I didn't have the opportunity. Like my parents both worked, so
Mhm.
I didn't get to really take classes, and I didn't know how to really join in, or wasn't just in that, joining
Mhm.
in the theatrics in school, the plays, the dance, things like that. So I really taught myself at home. Like I watched videos, I taught, I learned, did all that. When I became exposed to it in real life was in junior high school. They
Okay.
were they were doing the Puerto Rican Day parade, and I got wind of it. They told me about it, and I said, "Oh, let me just throw myself out there, try." I made it, so I was a last minute entry. I made it, and from there I started to what I learned was my first basic, right? Although
Okay.
it was something that I was natural to me, and I did it with my family, but
Mhm.
the structural what we know basic, right? Whether on one, on two, I didn't know at the time, right? I'm like 13, 12, 13.
Right.
So anyway, what was I saying? Ooh!
Junior high.
Junior
Junior
high,
high. Puerto Rican
Puerto
Day
Rican Day
Parade.
parade. That's where I learned. That's where I started doing all that. Later on, we were exposed to someone who actually danced on two,
Okay.
which his name is Jesus Nieves, which I
Okay.
nowadays recently see him around, and I'm like, dude, you were the first one that really I got introduced to on two, right? So he
Mhm.
came and trained the Puerto Rican group, and I became a thing. I learned shines, really good at it. Couldn't do partner work for the life of me, but I was like a little star at Shines, and from there, that's where my journey really derived from. I was pointed in different um, directions. So funny story I have, if I can share a
Absolutely. We
story.
love funny stories. Go for
Not
it.
fun. I wouldn't even say funny story. I would say cosmic story, right? Because
Okay. Ooh, even
I'm really
better.
big on the whole cosmos and synchronicities and how things work. And when you're tapped into the right place, when you're tapped into a place, the circuit is just that much quicker for it to happen, right?
Yes.
So that being said, I had an experience. I have an experience of that happening at a younger age that I didn't know. You see, now at this age, I know. I've learned
Mhm.
about these things. At that age, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I saw what I saw. I felt what I felt. I love what I love, and I went for it. So with Jesus Nieves, one day we go into an apartment, a friend's apartment, and on the video screen, on the TV, there is a dance routine playing, a group, a company, a dance company dancing salsa. Because at the time I knew nothing about salsa on Two World, nothing. I knew nothing.
Mhm.
Um, so so I see this company up there, and I'm like, just suck. I'm like, whoa, who are they? I'm like, what
Mhm.
is? I'm like, so I'm looking at them, and I go, kid you not, I go, I want to be like those women. I want to be like that. I want to look like that. I want to spin like that. I want to dance like that. Then I go, I changed my words. I remember this. I go, no, I want to be a part of that company. I want to be a part
Okay.
of that company. And I said that. And I'm like 13, 14 years old. Come to find out, that company, the routine I was playing was the famous cowboy Merecumbe routine by Descarga Latina,
Oh
not
my
knowing at
God.
that time that that was Descarga Latina. And look at where my career blossomed and where I really grew. Not even career blossom, screw that, go back, where I learned my true base and home into this community, what we know it to be today,
Mhm.
right? They are my home. They're my foundation. Although I started from other, like I started with Jesus Nieves. From
Yes.
there, I met this gentleman named Jay Soul, who's still a dear friend of mine, and that's where I started to learn partner work. So I'm going, like, I'm jumping back and forth, but that was that story how
Well,
it
that's
connected,
so crazy.
right?
You spoke it into truth. Like you
That's what
put
my
it
point
out there
was.
and the universe said, I got you.
That's exactly what my point was. 1 second, please.
Gotta love live TV. While she's doing that, let's say hi to Gustavo and Crystal. Yay, it's
Hi,
Destiny. Hi, beautiful
Crystal.
ladies. All right, get back to your
Oh, sorry,
story.
sorry, sorry.
It's okay.
I have a child. Um,
All right.
so what was I saying? So from going back, so that was amazing, right? How that all connected, and that plays I mean, a pivotal role in my life, and just how,
I love it.
when you're aligned and when you're destined to be somewhere, when it's there for you, it's there for you, and you don't know how you're
Mhm.
gonna get it, and you don't know how it's gonna play its role, but it'll guide you there, right? Life will guide you there. What I mean by it.
Yes.
So anyway, back to my journey from Jesus Nieve, doing the Puerto Rican Day Parade, doing some shows with them. I met a gentleman named Jay Soul, where he was teaching classes out of a like a karate studio and stuff like that, and just for people who wanted to learn salsa, right? Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Jay Soul, if you're out there. My friend. I There is where I learned partner work. So I was able
Okay.
to learn. I began an apprenticeship of learning shines, partner work, doing all that stuff. And from him, he started teaching, and I was, his beginner teacher at the time. I started to evolve. Um, we met Nelson. He was teaching at a now we met. We started teaching at the Nelson studio. From there,
Okay.
I met Nelson, and
Hmm.
that's when I became exposed really in real time. That was where I really met Nelson, and when he was in Time to Dance on Third Avenue and Descarga Latina, he had the new generation. So all the original members, right now, this was Nelson Flores, Descarga Latina, with the newer generation, and that's where I met like Abel Taveras, which is Jeff's brother. He was
Hmm.
one of my first training partners, people like that. So it was Bud, Baldillo, people that we know today. So it's really cool to see a bunch of other people too, Jason Pimenta. Anyway, there's a nice, that was where I learned, really. I was exposed to routines and real like partner
Hmm.
work, and I started learning all that stuff. From there, I was between, teaching with Jay Soul, learning some things on the side with Nelson. I stopped dancing for a little while. I was a teenager. I didn't do well in school, so I got, I
Yeah.
wasn't able to go to dance. Then years
Why
later,
is
I
that the
get back.
go-to punishment of our
Oh, I was
parents?
so upset. I was not happy. I was like, the one thing.
Yep.
Then yeah. So, I had a couple of breaks in between. where we started teaching out of Nelson's new studio on 3rd Avenue. We were teaching there. I was teaching with Jay Soul, meaning I still wasn't even working with Nelson and his company yet. I'm still like Jay Soul doing this. Boom. I take a break for like 4 years or so because now, you know, I have my daughter. Well, I had a boyfriend, really. It was the boyfriend first. He was around. So I took a step back from dance. I had my daughter. After she's like a year, I decided I want to get back into it. So I started taking some classes, and then I remember, well, where was it I wanted to go where I could get I felt safe and I felt a solid foundation.
Yes.
And I remember Nelson. And from that moment on, it was 2010, I believe, 2009, 2010, where I started my journey with Descarga Latina and Nelson. And that's really where everything just spiraled, right? So I started training with them again. And mind you, my salsa is still, like, I'm doing it because during those time of breaks, I was teaching children at an after school program named Casita Maria. So I was teaching for a couple of years. Since 15 years old, I have been so I never stopped teaching. So I never really stopped dancing. I just wasn't a part of the community, the scene, right? But dancing has always been a part of what I was doing. I mean, so my dance background is not very much like class. I'm not class.
You there?
So
Ooh. We seem to have lost her for a second, guys. Again, it's all right. It's live TV. We did have a message coming in from Daniel Tarosa. Respect to you, ladies, especially Destiny, since 2014 in the World Salsa Summit. Daniel Tarosa saying hi to you.
Hey.
So we'll get to
I'm
the
sorry
summit
about
later.
that. I'm still learning
it's
how
all
to.
good.
Yeah, that's a whole other journey in itself.
We'll get to summit. That's way later in the journey. But okay, so you started getting more into your training. You were always teaching, but now you came back.
Where I started getting real training, real formal training was when I started with Descarga Latina. And I learned with Nelson and everyone else that came with the package of Nelson, right? So working with Nelson allowed me the opportunity to work with so many other, talented, intelligent individuals that are also really good people. Like, so they became friends, and I just learned so much. I absorbed so much from them. I mean, people that were on the semi-pro team that took me in and guided me. Oh, there it is.
You said semi-pro team. That was the cue.
There it is. Yeah, because I was taking classes and I started, just training with them and then training with the semi-pro. And yep, this is the whole crew. Debbie Levine in the back, that redhead back there. She's the one. Remember, I told you I had no dance training. I knew nothing about pointed toes, none of that. And she whipped me into shape with that. Thank you, Debbie, because she, I learned from everyone. She helped teach me, my pointed toes, where my lines were, how to make things look cleaner. Because again, I'm a street dancer. This comes from me. This is my culture. This is home. This is what I do. I don't know anything about pointed toes. Where's my weight transfer supposed to be? How should my arms be? Should I be body position? Nothing. So this was where I was really formally getting trained, and it's an amazing journey. A lot of my really good friends here. Will Nieves in there, one of my first partners. Matt. So
this was your debut with the team?
I don't know about debut because we've done a lot of like shows. We've done a lot of like different shows. So I've probably done the routine a few times, but yeah, like big debut, semi-pro. Oh man.
And it was at the New York Salsa Congress, which, one of the biggest events in the world.
Exactly. So, that was nerve-wracking. I feel that it's really important. Like, I'm glad that you put this video up because I do feel that this is something that when you look at, I'm like, oh, you get cringy. The toes are all out of place. The form is all out of place. The body transfer, the arms look crazy, right? Looking at self, where I was in my journey. And I think it's so good that, we see something like this to see someone's growth. Like, if people look at me now and say, wow, look at what you do, look at how good you are, whatever it is, we all, these are for new beginners, right? People that are just getting into dance, or even have been dancing for a while and still feel insecure about it. There are a lot of people out there that feel really insecure about dancing, socially, performing, anything like that. And I feel for them, it's like, look at something like this. We all have a journey. This part of your journey. Now, where you're gonna go, that'll depends on you, on what you want, how much you want it. You know what I mean?
I love
Whatever
that.
they want is how far that's gonna go. But my point is not to be discouraged, not to be discouraged about the fact that this is where you are. You may not be exactly where you want to be, but look at how far you've come, where you are, and then use that as to where you want to go. Right? Does that make sense? I know I'm like dragging it a little bit, but
Absolutely.
I feel
Listen,
that's
we
important. I
all
know a lot of people,
we
right?
all have those videos that were like, can we take that down, please? Like, I want to erase that from my, my mind. But at the end of the
I
day,
know.
it's part of our growth. It's part of our progress. It's part of our journey, right? And it's
Right.
not about the
This is what I
destination,
look
right?
like when I
It is.
didn't know what I. Right. Sorry about that. I'm like talking
No,
over
it's
you.
okay. It's okay. There's tends to be a little delay here, so don't worry about it. But yeah, I love that you want people to focus on that part of it, right? It's not about look at where I ended up.
Right.
It's look at the progress, right? We all start somewhere, and the work we put in, it will determine where we go, right? So, and that's so important in
Right.
this business.
I right. I feel exactly perfectly said. That's so important in this business. This is a business where people are, and this is an art where people are constantly growing. Look, another one, SemiPro. This
Well,
is
I
their
got to show the
dance
beginnings,
partner and also one of my best friends. Yeah, exactly. And you can even see, right? This is good because you can even see from that first video, like if we're just picking me, right? Because it's on me.
Yeah,
You just looking at the quality of dance. Look at the quality of dance I was from the last video to this one, and you can see where there is some type of difference. There's some type of elevation. Still not where we want to be. Oh, I still don't look the way I want to look. But oh Jesus, hey, oh, Crystal. But you know what I mean? There's that journey. Give yourself credit for where you are in that moment. And I think that a lot of people, a lot of us, we miss that part. We're so
yes,
focused, and we can be goal oriented and focused on where is that destination, where we want to be, and where we feel inside of us we can be, that we forget about where we are and how we're getting there. Right? So
absolutely.
here's that.
Absolutely.
This is the journey.
There's a lot of familiar faces in here. A lot
Yeah.
of what I would say baby dancers at the time, but not babies no more. Do you remember all
Yep.
the people on this team? Like, can you point some faces out for us?
Oh, everyone. We have Manuel Cerda. We have Christina Shanks, Paul B. Bourgier, Eva, his wife. They got married. Okay, we made a lot of love connections. This Carga Latina at Rima Sabor got like 2 marriages out of it. It
Is
was so
that
cute.
Edwin
We
dancing
have
with Debbie?
Nadine Walls. No, no, no. That's not Edwin. No, no, no.
It looks like Edwin.
No. That's I know from the it's that head. Edwin, I miss you. No. It's my people's. No, that's
It's
not
hard.
him. That's another friend of mine, Manuel,
It's
Manny.
hard for me to see because I have this.
It's
I
hard to
have to
see it
like do all the
small.
producing, so I don't have the screen up as big, and I don't have my glasses, so all I see is
Yeah,
like
and for me,
a fuzzy picture with the bald head.
yeah, yeah. Doc
Uh,
Mike back there, he's been in the game. Let me tell you something. Doc Mike has been in the game for this gentleman all the way in the back left, right? Well,
mhm.
left if you're looking at it, right?
Yeah.
He's been in the game for years, man. Social dancing, loving it. I mean, his love for it is just so amazing. Max Ortiz, which is my partner and also one of my best friends till this day, out there. Yeah, I love, good people. All of the, oh, sorry, storytelling.
No, it's
Anyway,
good. That's a compliment. It means you're
but
feeling
yeah,
comfortable and you're telling your
no,
story,
thank
which is
you.
important, right? This is another piece from you guys. I
I
believe
know.
this was in 2012. I'm pulling up right now.
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
red
So
costume routine.
this
Talk to
this
me about this piece.
the red costume routine. This was my oh, this piece. First of all, I love this piece. This piece is vintage. This piece is Nelson Flores and Maribel Maldonado. Okay, and they did this piece. What is it called? Canto. I can't remember. Canto is something. I just can't remember. If somebody's in remembers it, write it later. But it's one of my favorite pieces. If you Google YouTube Nelson and Maribel, you're gonna find that routine and look at how, I mean, it's an exquisite routine. I mean, the way they dance, the elegance. Like, first of all, I didn't get back to what my inspiration was, but really, the Descarga Latina women were the baddest and are the baddest, I would say, women that I have ever really seen in my entire life. So I just have to. So Maribel is that image of what a woman, right? Colombia de Canto. Thank you, Vero. Oh,
Vero
Colombia de
got you.
Canto.
Vero got you.
Yes, that's my girl. So I mean, so anyway, the routine is beautiful. It's beautifully executed.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm so
Oh no. I'm gonna show this in the full screen while Destiny fixes what's
Can you
happening. Are you
hear
back,
me?
girl? Yeah, I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me?
Yes.
Okay, good. I'm so sorry. I asked my sisters to tell my grandmother that I'm on a call and not to call me, and she's calling me a gazillion times. And I don't know how to. I put it on airplane mode. I put it on do not disturb.
And
I
the
have no
calls are
idea
still
how
coming
it's
through.
still coming in. That woman has some magic on her. I don't know.
It's okay.
So
My father
this
would do the
routine,
same thing in the
yeah.
beginning. When I started this thing, I would tell him, don't call me between this time. And it would start, and then my phone would start. And I was like, end call. I can't talk to you
And then
now.
they'll just keep calling, right? And then they'll keep calling. Ay, ay, ay.
All
So
right.
this
This
routine is
routine.
just, like I said, beautiful. One of my favorite routines, beautifully executed by the two of them. I mean, amazing, right? So this was my debut on the pro team, and this was on
Hey,
accident.
by accident.
Yeah, this was, yeah, no, I have to tell you, when I tell you that Descarga Latina, Nelson Flores, like, guided me and mentored me through my growth, and I will 1,000 times always be grateful to that, because Nelson put me in a position where he never allowed me to be somewhere that I wasn't ready for. So
Oh,
I worked from learning, from getting to Ritmo Sabor, right, the semi-pro team, into the pro. For me to work and be on the semi-pro, on the pro team, was a journey and a high honor. Like, you don't just get that. You don't just get, because you come in here and you know your Suzy Q's and your 5, 6, 7s, you get to be on the pro team. You had to earn it and work for it. And he never let me. He didn't let me go up there if he didn't feel that I wasn't ready for it, right? So I have to say I'm grateful to that, because at this time when they were doing this routine, I was actually I was what was I doing? I was still with the semi-pro team, and on accident I started rehearsing with the pro team. That is how that happened, because Amanda Marquez was like, "Yeah, just come hang out with us. Just hang out. Just be here." And I'm like, "Okay, oh, you're right. I am. As long as it's okay." And I'm like, "Nelson, it's all right." And he's like, "Yeah." The beautiful thing about that is that they need bodies. When teammates are not there, guess what? They need bodies to fill it in. So I was
yeah.
at the time a filler. I was in no way, shape, or form a professional dancer. And he always makes sure I knew that I wasn't there yet. I am a filler. Learn your shit. So, and that
I
made
love
me
that.
better, because I had to learn I had to learn every single person's part. Really, I had to. Like, people were like,
It's
"You
the
know this,
best
yes, you
training,
throw me
though.
into this side." So I was really the understudy for that routine. The one who was supposed to dance with Nelson was Veronica, right? Veronica
Ah,
Castilla, my girl. Yeah. So they were the team that were gonna perform for the New York Congress, because they were ready. Ready good for our last minute. You know how we get down.
yeah.
But they were ready, and I was like, I was doing it, and I knew, and my man Steve Sada, who always calls, and he's like, "Yo, Destiny's ready. She can do it. She knows all the parts." But they had this gig, right? So, which was, of course. And Veronica, for whatever reason, I forgot at the time, something with her family, she couldn't make it. So last
Vero, you're
minute,
watching the
she
show
couldn't
right
make
now.
it.
Tell us what happened.
Oh,
Tell
she
us why
couldn't
you
make
backed
it. Yeah,
out. We want to know.
right. No, and it was something. Something happened that she was like, oh, I can't, whatever. And Nelson's like, well, I can't switch the date, like, whatever it is. And the show must go on. So I had to like throw myself in there, and I'm like, whoa. And then it's on the New York International Salsa Congress, that stage, and I was shitting bricks. I
I'm
was not
sure.
there. And again, right? This is the journey. This is the growth. That, as you can see, okay, my first debut with that, right?
She
and
can't
and that's
remember.
where she can't remember. Yeah. So so that was my journey onto the pro team, but that's where my training just elevated even more. It became more intense because now I'm in a space where all professionals. So
Oh, yeah. It's a whole other ballgame.
I'm absorbing. Yeah. At the same time, I was, like I said, Nelson's apprentice. I was helping to demonstrate and do all the classes with Nelson. Every class he had, I was doing them with him. Like the student, and I started that way. I've always, like, when I'm learning something, I'm like, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna be like in that.
Yep.
So I put my time and work alongside this person and this company for years, teaching the classes, and that's where, again, my training began,
Hmm.
because now I'm learning how. The way I break this down is I'm learning how he's teaching, how he's doing things, how the other people are doing, and I'm breaking it down in my mind and how to absorb that information and do it inside of me, to eventually
Absolutely.
get to the point where now how am I going to teach it? Because I've always had the teaching senses to me. Remember, I was teaching
Yeah,
children.
the whole time.
I was teaching kids since I was 15 years old. So that's always been inside of me. So I'm more of like, I love to teach. I love to, I love to learn as well. Don't get me wrong. I love to learn. One model that I learned once again from my Descarga family, from the wonderful Maribel Maldonado, is I'm always a student. And when I
Always
heard
be a
her say
student.
that,
Yes.
she says that that's her philosophy. I'm always a student. And I'm like, and I said, you know what? That 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 sticks with me. I'm like, I feel that I'm gonna follow that philosophy, and little things like that just help. They didn't shape me only as a dancer, but it helped shape me as a woman, as a person. And that kind of experience, I'm just like, that journey has just taken off. Oh, so fun. The ladies. So this routine was a men's routine. The guys did this first. This was a famous, all the guys, Nelson,
I
Devin,
remember all the
Ciceda,
men
Angel
doing it.
Navarro, all these guys. That was them. So then, of course, the ladies, we were very like, well, we want to do it too. We're not just not going to do anything. We want to do it. And Nelson, of course, likes to. That's what he likes to do. He likes to flip things. He flips them. He'll take it. Okay, the guys are doing this. All right, the ladies are going to do this too. Okay, we're going to do this together. Let's make this a routine. We partner work too. Shines and partner work, and that's what creation is all about, right? Just flipping it up. So this was fun. This was cache. Yeah, I think this was one of my first times ever performing there.
This was
Yeah, that was a fun
2014,
time.
November
Lindsay, Carmen
2014.
Taveras. Yeah,
I love
my
it.
girl Carmen Taveras. Carlene, my sister from Trinidad and Tobago. These women became my sisters. Debbie, Carmen, Carlene, Lindsay. These women are like really. That's the beautiful thing about our family. Is Descarga Latina. Is you didn't just you didn't just have people you learn dance with. You build bonds with them. These people became your brothers,
Absolutely.
your sisters, and our family just has expanded even all around the world, because we don't only just have that amongst each other, but we go to Trinidad, we go to London, we'll go to Puerto Rico. We have that with the people that, Philadelphia, PA, wherever it is, whoever it is that we come into connection with. It's like, yo, we're friends, we're in it, we're good. And that's what I mean by, we've always been surrounded by just good people, friends
Yeah.
that became family. Like, I think this is, I mean, anyway, let me not get into that, because that for me is the most beautiful thing about what we do in our community, right? What
Yes.
this community is about, right? Oh,
Family.
snap. This lady's routine, you got to cut me off, Sharonne. You got to stop me somewhere because I'll keep.
No, go. That's the point of this. Talk to me about this. You keep talking about your
Okay,
family, right? The connection you have with the
okay,
women on your
okay.
team. So talk to me
Yeah.
about it, right? After all, this is Women of Dance. So go nuts.
Right. So these again the same beautiful women. Abby, my other sister, Lindsay, Carlene. Who's the other one? Katra. Katra. Oh, this routine was actually my first ladies routine. My like I chore like that I choreographed by
Yeah.
myself from top to bottom. Like I used to choreograph little things like except for the kids when I was working in the after school program. So I've always been creating. I've always been like that, creating my own little combos, little routines, things like that. This one was my first real, like top to bottom salsa routine for a company, for a ladies company or any company, really.
Mhm.
So this routine is pretty special to me. After a while, you get tired of them. Like you hear the song, you're like, oh no. But
Oh,
I,
for
I
sure.
appreciate this routine. It's these are my original women that just helped. I mean, there's so many other videos of this one because Veronica, we have many different versions.
Oh, absolutely.
Veronica has been in this one. Debbie. We've had so many. Like this was our routine. We were taking it. It was good.
Talk to me about your choreographic process.
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, we all have a different way, right? Sometimes
Yeah.
we start with an idea and then we go to a song, or we start with like, what is your process? What inspires you? How do you pick, like, how do you come up with this vision?
For me, the music. I
Okay.
have to hear. I listen to the song. I have to hear it, hear the music over and over and over again. See what I feel, what I can connect to, or what my brain like. It's different. Each song calls for something different. Like this routine, I think stimulated my brain, right? Because there were a lot of little and there are a lot of different instruments and different things happening that it intrigued my brain to say, well, how am I going to incorporate a routine and put these, and incorporate the music and the routine to make sense together, right?
Hmm.
So that one is like that. Other routines are more like I feel. So it's all I feel it different. If I have an emotional, spiritual connection to it, my body moves different, and I feel so. The song creates the mood for me and what
Okay.
I'm trying to attack, right? So again, if it's um, a lot of instruments, so that's how I determine how I'm gonna like how the routine is gonna look, right? So if the
Okay.
music is if the instruments are really playful, if the instruments are really playful and there's a lot going on, I try to match that in some way using that intricacy and that playfulness, and
Yeah.
also using the bass line of the music and incorporating that in a whole picture, right? And then like I said, other routines call for something different. I feel it in a different way. So it's more for me the music and how I feel it, what I'm
Hmm.
hearing, and then I like to match my steps. I make sure that I match what I hear,
Gotcha.
and then I make
Nice.
sure that I stay within the brackets of salsa rhythm, the timing of it, right? So I'm
Yep.
I'm a big. It's so funny because I'm a musical person, and it's all music, but I'm also a numbers person. So I need to attach
Oh,
the number to the music. It has to. And I know a lot of people that go, yeah, I mean, you hear that, dun 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 dun. Well, hit that, dun 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 dun, and I'm like, okay, but you know that there's a number that matches that,
yeah.
guys. Not
Yep.
everybody feels it that way though. It's not a judgment, just not everybody feels it and
Everybody's
hears it and
different.
understands it. It's just a different skill to
Yeah.
learn, right? And for me, it's a skill that I've learned to develop, throughout the years, listening to music, counting, okay, where the one, and then I'll start counting, and my girls they laugh at me when I teach or when I choreograph because my count matches the rhythm of the music, so they're sing counting, and they make
Yeah.
fun of me all the time. They go, "We missed it when you sing count." Like, so one,
Love
two,
it.
three, four, five, six, and seven, eight, on one. Like I'm singing. It's so funny. So
I
that's
love it.
for me, that's my process. But I mean, first and foremost, also the music. I hear what it inspires me, and then I have to cut it because
Oh,
the
yeah.
music, like you don't use the whole song, and I'm really big on cutting it in a way that if you hear the whole song, it may not sound like it's really anything, but if you cut it a certain way, it's
Yep.
something. So
You
I
cut your
first
own
thing
music?
I like I cut it. I have a process where I write it down and I'll work with someone else to
Okay.
actually do the editing for me on the program because I'm not really technologically savvy and I'm not big on that. I could do it. There was a time in my life where I was teaching myself and I did it for a
Same.
little while because I had no choice. It was just, a lot.
It is a
I know I
lot.
was taking a detour. You know what it is? Because I know I was taking a detour route. I know there are easier ways that, like the person that I'm working with now, cuts the song like in 15, 30 minutes. What I give him, I
Yeah.
give him the structure. It's my brother, by the way, from Trinidad. I've been working with him recently. But in the past, I've worked with other people like Devin, Richie from Richie and
Yeah.
Amendra, so I've had but right now I've been working with Ade and he does it like so quickly. For me, it's something that would take me a whole, hour and change. So I'm like, all right, I'm
Really?
taking the detour route. I'd rather just work with someone who can do that part, but I'm cutting it. I'm
Yeah.
sitting down and I'm telling what beats that I want. I listen for what beats that I want. I look at where I'm cutting it in the right because there are numbers on a song. So I'm looking for which timing I want cut. I start writing the timing cuts. Boom, boom, boom. I do that. I start counting the bars now. Like I break down. I have a whole little system, and that I've
Yeah.
learned from different people, different choreographers. Like I said, working with Nelson and people that he's worked with. We both have worked with ballroom dancers. They all have different methods, and you kind of just take a little bit from
Yep.
from from everybody. So that's my, I don't know, how cool or crazy that sounds, but that's how I do it. I time it, I write down the cut that I want, I give it to the person, they do it. If they feel that something it doesn't sound right, because I can only do it but so far with my head, with
Mhm.
pause and play, they'll help, we'll talk about it together, we'll come back, figure it out, and then go. So music, cutting it, I do that. Then the choreography, I listen to what I feel and I match, staying within the bracket of the rhythm, because I'm
Yeah.
dancing salsa. I'm not dancing tap dance or ballet. So I'm not, my counts still stay within the bracket of what salsa is, because that's
Absolutely.
what I know though. I'm a salsera, so I don't claim to be a, I don't I don't claim to be a classically trained dancer, right? Jazz, tap. Although I have learned all of these beautiful dances through the people that I have met. So it's not to say that I haven't put in the time in learning these things. It's just
Hmm.
I'm not trained like you. You've done ballet and right for years. You're trained.
For you.
So
Yeah.
me, I'm trained salsa. I'm trained in that's not only it's in my culture, my upbringing, but I know salsa. I'm gonna break down to you. I
Yeah.
could, because that's what I'm trained in. So
Absolutely.
that's, I don't know where I went with that, but you know what I mean.
It's all good. Well, you did mention ballroom, and you say you're really just the salsetta, but you're not because we also know that you love a little hustle.
Oh my God, that video! Look at that. Oh, I remember that
This is just a
haircut, girl.
freestyle.
Yeah, yeah. This was after rehearsal. That's why we all looking all like we're ready to go home. We just
Hmm.
finished rehearsal teaching. And yeah, just a freestyle. We were just like, somebody put a song on and we just started dancing. Oh man, hustle. I love hustle. Hustle became my second love. Salsa, growing up it was always salsa and bachata. I grew up
Hmm.
salsa, bachata, merengue. Those were my go-to dances. Those are like, that's it. When I got introduced to hustle, oh excuse me, oh man, forget about it. Hustle, salsa and hustle, those are my first two now. My first two loves. And I mean, it's just so, for me,
Fun.
it's so freeing, and
Yes.
fun, right? You can dance to different types of music. I love, house music. I love chill ambient music. I love disco music. Different things that are upbeat.
Yes.
And even like cooler tone. You can even dance it to a not so like high intense upbeat, a more like chill song. And depending on a certain rhythm, you can just dance to it. I love it. Yeah, man. Oh, hustle. And I learned from Veronica and Nelson. Those are my two, the ones that I really, really learned like structurally, where I learned was
Hmm.
them two, and then dancing with everybody in the at the socials, like Johnny Boots, Tyree, John
Hmm.
Rinaldi, Louis Orlando, Elizabeth Darchi, a lot of these, just watching them dance. Or Who else? Oh wait, what's his name? It's not clicking to me. Vero, you know if you're watching. Aldo, Dios mío. Tell me that I know I'm right. I think. But anyway, him. I mean, watching, and these are most of the, like these guys. A lot of leaders, like a lot of guys that are following. I mean, I learned a lot from them. Like watching the way that they move and glide across the floor. Like, I just love hustle. This was a routine. Tybalt choreographed
Tybalt.
this one.
Love Tybalt.
Yeah, this
And
was
Veronica
fun.
says,
Yeah,
yes, it was
Tybalt is just
Aldo.
Miss Tybalt. Yes, Aldo. Aldo. Okay. Oh, he's just. If you see him, man, I mean, and he's a follower. Oh, he's just so beautiful to watch. Because like a
Mm-hmm.
top. I mean, I love it. So yes, hustle is my love. I love hustle.
I
It's
love
so
these
fun.
costumes. Who's in charge of the costume concepts for Descarga Latina?
Um, the
Is
costumes
it?
have always been a bit of like the issue for our, at least for my generation of it. Because in the past, I feel in the original Descarga Latina, they had a nice system. I think they had a good system, but we've always had a mess. We've always had, all the girls had an input, which can be good and can be not good. So it's
I
always
hear
been
you.
different. Like, let me say that it's always been different because I can't pinpoint like who constantly did the choreographies. No, some of us will have ideas. Some of us, I mean, the choreographies, costumes. Sorry about that. Some of us had ideas. Some of us didn't. We bounced off ideas. We would find a seamstress. We would find something cheap, make it ourselves. So like that hustle costume were pants. We sewn them. A shirt. We sewn them. So sometimes we just made it up and improvised, and sometimes we had someone do it. Jamie. Jamie said, "Nah, yeah. Oh, love him.
This was
Love
a
dancing with
competition?
him." This was a, yeah. This was a Uh, was it like a Jack and Jill? I guess. Yeah, I guess
It looks
it was
like
a
it
Jack
would have
and
been a
Jill of
Jack and Jill. It's the New
It
York
was.
City Dance Experience Hustle
Yes.
Congress.
So it was basically the Hustle Congress, right, in New York by I believe Lori Breezy, if I'm not mistaken. Vero again.
Mm-hmm.
Vero has more of the facts than I do. I'm glad she's watching this. Yeah, this was my first time participating in the hustle, anything like this. Hustles has been mostly like Veronica's world, and she adopted me. She took me under her wing into the world, and now we're the two little tops of the little community, rolling
I
in.
love it.
So yeah, it's so fun, and that was a Jack and Jill. Yeah, we got set up. I believe we got. I don't know if it was third place. I don't know, something like that. Second or third place, something like that. That was fun. Yeah, where everybody, all the instructors competed. Veronica competed with Dance with Somebody. Tybalt danced with somebody. Nelson danced with somebody. I don't remember. It was a while ago.
Those
My
Jack
friend
and Jills are a
Joelle.
lot of fun. They are a lot
Yeah,
of fun.
yeah. And for
Yeah.
hustle, forget about it. Yeah.
So you keep mentioning Vero, you and your girl right there.
Yeah, that's my girl. That's
And
my
yes,
sister.
it is Lori Brizzy who runs the
Mhm.
Hustle Open Jack and Jill for that Congress.
Yeah. Okay, good thought. So yeah, these girls, these you see some of these girls, you see Ariel, Chanel, Vera, Grace, like those became that's when it became more of, I became the mama bear. Before
Okay.
that, as you saw the other women with Debbie and all of that, I was the semi-pro, so I was that teammate. Then when I was on the pro team of Descarga Latina during those times, it was more of like I was looking up to these people, and then they became my peers, right? Because I ended up getting to their level and where they are, and now these people are my peers. And now some of this crew of people, like these ladies, as I'm sure some of the later videos will see, these ladies were where I became like that real mama bear, and they did my choreographies with Nelson, and of course the original Descarga routines, and I was the one teaching them, I was the one training them. I was, not only the ladies, the guys as well. But most of the guys, you see a lot of the guys that have been there with them for a while, like Angel Navarro, who's, he's a professional in his own right. So Devin is, top offspring, because mom and dad are Bon dancers
I like
and
that
very,
top offspring.
important people, top offspring, just one of those. So
I
that's
knew
what
I
the
was
good
going to
times
laugh a
are,
lot with you today, but we always have a good time when we talking, though.
Yeah,
Are you, my girl?
definitely. Definitely.
Oh, good Lord. I think I
So
have
yeah,
somehow
man.
two up here. So, yeah, you travel a lot with the team. You travel a lot with
Yeah.
Nelson as well. Talk about, the evolution of your touring and teaching and all of that stuff.
Oh, this is when we started teaching in Long Island. This is when we touched into the Long Island community. Because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, with really my whole growth and my career was really with Descarga Latina, right? I haven't been on my own. Like eventually I started to like teaching on my own, doing my own things, having my own projects and things like that. But really, Descarga Latina is my home base. And Nelson and I were teaching, we taught classes throughout the week in Manhattan. Here we started teaching in Long Island. So this is where we
Mm-hmm.
tapped into the Long Island community. And that was really fun because that was, just a whole different ambiance of people, right? So that was cool. I have a lot of great friends that came out of that. This is Trinidad. Social dancing.
Trinidad. You
I
guys
feel
have
like
a
we were
very
dancing
special
in the South.
relationship with Trinidad.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Talk about
Trinidad,
that.
we definitely do. Trinidad is my home. I mean, that's my family's there, really. Like the people that I've been going out there since 2012, 13.
Wow.
One of those 2 years, I believe 13. Yeah, Nelson and Veronica were already going there before that. So they already, they've already got their family base. So now I'm coming into the family and we just, everyone that goes there every time, every year, first year, third year, sixth year, doesn't matter. You're getting treated with, utmost love and just compassion and good greetings.
Absolutely.
Everybody's just in it to just have a good time, right? I can't say that there's not like there are not issues and things like that. I don't care what country you go to, it's the same as all the others. Where you've got your good, really good ones, you got the sour ones that want to create issues. So there's always a flux of different things like that going on in every part of the world. Even though the culture is different, that's
Mm-hmm.
still happening, right? Even if it's at a
Sure.
different scale, it's still happening. Um, but yeah, we've been fortunate with just being around really, really good people. Like these people are my friends, my family. Like I have some of my best friends that are from there. My brothers, my sisters. Like we have a good time. We go there. We go out there every year. I even I even got the opportunity to eventually. First, I was teaching with Nelson only. Eventually, I was able to get my own classes. Now I was getting my own lady styling and things like that. And one thing with me though, I'm cool with lady styling because right, I can do it. Right, I have a style. We can do it. I'm also big on. I like to teach a lot of other things. Right, I'm also a leader, so I like to lead. So I like to teach. I'm more about teaching the mechanics of the dance, right?
You're
Teaching a
all about that
fundamental base,
technique.
and I'm all about that technique. How can we make the dance easier and comfortable for everyone? If your partner feels comfortable throughout the dance, you're doing it right, right? I don't define you dancing right by only the timing you're on and anything like that because dance is free. It's about rhythm. It's about how you feel the rhythm. So you may feel the rhythm on this beat. You may feel the rhythm on this beat. You may feel the rhythm on this beat, right? So everybody expresses and feels music differently. So it's not necessarily about what timing and what style, anything like that, but it's about how you make me feel. It's about that connection. If you're making me feel uncomfortable as a follower and I'm making you feel uncomfortable as a leader, we're wrong. It's no good. It's not good because dance, we want to feel comfortable. So that's where
Absolutely.
I personally would define something as right or wrong type of thing. I dropped my earpiece. Sorry. So yeah,
No, it's fine.
I'm big on that. I'm big on the technique and the mechanics of teaching that. So I was, grateful that in Trinidad, they really opened up and gave me that opportunity to be able to explore on that. They gave me the opportunity where whatever you want to teach, go ahead, girl. It started off as lady styling and then became, no, you've got your own lead and follow classes. You've got your own, shines class. You've got your own. They would hire me throughout the year to come and train and do workshops with some of their students, the community. And these were females and males because I'm like, I could teach them all. Like, we could do this. Let's do it.
Absolutely.
This is, let me, before the video finishes, this is the summit. This is, I'm not sure if this is the first year we competed in the ladies open. I'm not sure.
I don't remember either.
It
I
might
was
have been the
trying
first
to
year, might
figure
have been
that
the
out.
second year. I don't remember either. Yeah. But we won, what was it? We won second place.
You guys won second place.
Fun.
This is
This was
2018.
great. We got Jordan Lurie.
My sister from another mister. I love her.
With there, who has been, and who has been, the ladies solo world champ of the summit for the past 2 years running. Good for her. Okay.
And you coached her, right?
And the rest of them are my girls, the girls that I've been. Yeah, I did. I did the choreography, and Billy coached her. So then,
Okay.
and then when I'm around her, I do my own little coaching. I do the, that psychological coaching with her. Like, all right, let's, blah, 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 blah. And her mother always comes in like, go talk to my girl. Go, whatever you did yesterday, go do it again. You need to get in there and talk to my girl. Because I understand how to get into people, like how to see what they're, I see inside of them, right? I see what the fear is, what's holding you back, the blockages that are there, and I make it my business. However, I can help you remove that blockage so that you can think clear and go out and do what you do best. That's my mission. That's my goal. I feel that that's what I'm here for. And this one, wepa. See, so these
this
are
is also a
main
competition ladies piece, right? You guys used this at Summit for 2019?
Yes, we did. We did it. We used it for the pro-am. I used it for pro-am, same gender. Ariel and Vera did same gender, amateur and rising star, and then and I forget which else. Yeah, no, we did it as a team. We did it as a team in 2019, and then in 2020 is when we did it as individuals. Okay, but 2019, it was premature. It was so premature. It was not as developed as it is developed now. Very premature.
Yes.
It was new. It was fresh. We had just finished the choreography, but we wanted to compete. We're just like, we don't care. We're going out there and we just want to compete. It's done. Let's do it. So we went out there. We threw ourselves with it being done in a short amount of time. So, I mean, like I always tell, I'm sorry, I'm a realist. I always tell any of my competitors, even my own self and my girls, if you're going in there a month or 2 to 3 months before with something brand spanking new and expecting to win first, second, third, I mean, cool for you if you can get there. But if you're defeating yourself because you didn't, you're wrong. Because you didn't even put the amount of ample time and work it took to really get the routine in your system, in your body, to become a part of you, to put your best self out there. People are out there, training for their competitions 6 months, a year, almost to, before. So if you're pissed off because you didn't make it to first, second, or third, but you only did this a month or two ago, well, mommy, you had to start a little sooner and work a little harder. Like, I'm a realist. I'm not gonna expect to win first or second place if I just started a month ago. I didn't work on it as to my best abilities that I know that I could. You know what I mean? Where now the following year when we came in doing this routine, this is when I went to Canada. They hired me for a weekender, Makosa weekender with my friend Yvonne Solo, Smooth. This Yvonne Smooth, they call him. This is his event.
Look at you
Canada,
leading.
Montreal. So
leading.
Good. I had such a fun time. Yeah, that was me leading. He had me teach an on-one workshop because they were more comfortable on one. So I was like, I'll do whatever you want me to do. We got this. So that was fun. I love leading.
I don't think I've ever seen you dancing on one. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever seen you dance on one. And this is your group, right?
This is when I went out and I did my own lady student team, my
Mm-hmm.
performance team type of thing. So this crew, this is a combination of ladies from Manhattan, from New York,
Mm-hmm.
from Manhattan, New York, and from Long Island, and I fused the two together. So I had rehearsals during the week, one with the Manhattan crew, one with the Long Island crew separately,
Mm-hmm.
right? So these were they were separated, and then once in a while I would work on. I was able to get them in the same room to rehearse it together. So I had to do formations and all that stuff with them that were missing spots. They had to train, and
Wow.
they did a very amazing job. And not all of these women have been dancing for years. Some of these women have only been dancing for like Mimi. She's only been was doing it at the time for like a year. We took her from scratch. Some of them were dancing 2 3 years. Like very new to the game. But they're like, we want to challenge ourselves. We want to push ourselves. We want to do this. And these girls I love them so much. They're waiting for me. They're like, girl, when are you starting your classes and do things again? Because
I
when we're
love it.
ready.
I
Yeah,
love the
this was so
costumes.
fun.
I
This was
love
so
the
much fun.
routine. And can I just say, you look gorgeous here.
Thank
Like you always
you.
look
It was
good, but
like,
like you look
damn, it was a light skin.
gorgeous in this costume. And this, like, look at makeup
Thank you.
flawless.
And the
The
funny
look
thing
is
is,
great.
and I'm telling you, that's so funny. And that's all lighting and stuff. I'm telling you, that costume, the girls hated it. It's not one of those flattering costumes. It
I
looks
don't
like it
know. You
could
look
be
pretty good out
from
there. So
far, but it's not. It was so funny. It's so funny, that one. But yeah, that was my ladies performance group. That was great. That was me on my own training these ladies, putting them together, doing these performances. I mean, these are women that are working women, moms, all different lifestyles. They're not about that, salsa a scene lifestyle that I want to perform and I want to compete and this is my livelihood, anything like that. They're women that, everyday women that work, that love to dance and wanted to push themselves and challenge themselves. And I'm so like that experience has really been a humbling one for me and a beautiful one, really, because just being able to be in a room with women and give them the space to feel confident and empowered and learn a new skill and just to feel good about themselves and to break them out of barriers that they've had for themselves, that is the most rewarding part of it to me. And they've all done an amazing job. So I just wanted to speak on that because this this is Amsterdam. This was our last trip
COVID.
before COVID. Yeah, we had just came back from Amsterdam and then everything hit. Yeah,
Can
this
we
was
just
good.
say pointed feet, beautiful
Oh my God.
lines? Like talk about evolution, right? We started out the
Yeah,
episode showing your performances on the semi-pro team. And now here you are, you and Devin in
yeah,
Amsterdam, just the two of you killing it with this performance, right? Polished,
yeah. Thank
beautiful,
you.
all the flavor. I mean, talk about a progression, like a gorgeous journey of you as a dancer.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, this was a fun time. This was good. Devin and I worked hard right before this. For London, we were working hard. We had London right before that, and or yeah, London before that, and then this, and we were working really hard, like to get in shape and to get, because we had done another routine that we had just learned before that one, that was intense, and it
Mhm.
and it called for a lot of us, and we had to get in real shape for that
I remember
routine.
hearing about that
So
routine.
yeah, that routine was intense. It was a great routine. Not the one that you just saw. That routine, we ended up doing that one. That was an older piece that we decided to do because we hadn't been able to rehearse much in between that time. So
Mhm.
we went with that one that we knew it better and we felt more comfortable. So that was a fun time. Amsterdam Congress, I'm gonna tell you something. Listen, that's a
I need
Congress
to
to
go.
go to. That is a
I need
that is
to
a go
go.
to. That's a go to. Talk about just for the feel, the authentic feel of Congress. You know what Congress were when,
Mhm.
what were they? They were a place where people could get on stage, do their thing, perform. First of all, you're learning workshops all day from some of the
Yep.
masters of the world, some of your local masters, and some of your international, right? You're getting that. You get to perform. You have the tech rehearsal. You get to perform. And then, you got your vendors doing all their thing. And then at nighttime, you're social dancing all freaking night till the morning. And it's a
I
big
love it.
space and everybody just wants to dance and everybody's feeling. I'm like, that's a fun one. That's a fun one because everyone was just like dancing. There were like
It's on
nonstop,
my list of
nonstop. So,
congresses I need to attend for sure.
yeah,
I really want to go.
I would definitely. I'm a jump on the Frank flicks. Now, you know how Franklin goes on with the Netflix, the Frank flick with his
I
assessments. I
love it,
love
the
it,
Frank
Franklin.
Flick.
I love it. I'm here for all
Thank
of
you,
it.
Franklin, for keeping us entertained during
Well,
COVID.
this is
Really.
the yeah yeah, it's so
Um,
good.
before
Yeah, that's a
before we,
recommended one. That's a good one to go to. Yeah,
before we run out of time, because
I knew
I
that.
didn't realize we were going to
I knew
talk
that was
so
gonna
much about
happen.
your dancing and your teaching. There is another subject I wanted to talk to you about, which is competition, and not as a competitor or a coach, but a lot of people that don't know about the competition circuit and the work that goes into it, they don't
Mhm.
know how much work you're doing for a lot of these events, whether it's the smaller competitions like in Connecticut or
Right.
DC or whatever, because there's the regionals, right? But then there's
Mhm.
also the World Salsa Summit. And you go there not just as a director with your team, right? Not just as a member of the Descarga Latina, but you're there every year as part of like the core staff, right? I see you back there
Yeah.
running around with your headpiece and your clipboard. You're doing all your thing. And then sometimes you're doing that with your heels on and a costume underneath, like a robe, because you got to go in and out. And I just look at you and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know how you do it because I just do it with one event with Liberty and I want to kill myself every time I do it. So I don't know how you do it on a bigger level with Summit. Like, talk to me about that for you and what that's like.
Yeah, I love that experience. Honestly, the summit has been one of the best experiences of my life, because it brought something else out of me that I didn't even really know that I had inside of me. And I was able
Yeah.
to tap into a different part of myself of, wow, I love this. I love doing this. I love the adrenaline rush. I love running back and forth. I love talking to people. That's the
That's
biggest
true.
thing. I love connecting with people. And that's why they put me back there. I'm like, ah, put me back there. Throw me into the wolf. I'm literally like the customer service rep for the
You
on-site
really
monitor
are.
customer service rep, because anyone that has an issue or something, they know to stop me and I go ahead, let it up, because there's a lot that goes into organizing it, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
the masses is coming to the top people organizing it with all their little things, and that can be a lot to handle with making sure everything's run
Oh,
right.
for
So you got
sure.
Billy, Nelson, Katie. You have, so they're running the whole thing, right? They have to deal with the big companies. They have to deal with every little thing, right? But then
Mm-hmm.
they hire a team to handle different departments to make sure everything's
Cool.
running accordingly, right? So then now you have, that's when Eric and Kelly come in and they're running that whole competition system. So they've
Yep.
got that shit locked down. Also dealing with the morning and nighttime of making sure the whole thing functions,
Yep.
right? So then I'm
Shout out
then
to
that
Eric
next
and Kelly for
person.
that one.
Yeah, shout out to them for that, because that is a job. Like, that is a no sleep. I mean, your eyes, like, that's why I'm like, we're good. Our eyes are really good because we have to read, we have to make sure everything's in check. At the same time, somebody comes to us, wants to talk to us about something. You got to be good at multitasking. First and foremost,
Absolutely.
if you can't
Oh,
really multitask, this is not really the job for you. You have to be able to multitask and be comfortable with it. Because if you
absolutely.
get upset about it, then it's not fun. Because there can be a
Or
lot of
if you get
things
flustered or something, like
flustered.
it's not going to work.
Yeah, then it's not gonna work. Especially, and that's why it's important about for the person in the back. That's why I know that's one of the reasons why Nelson and Billy like to keep me, and Katie, they like to keep me running that back, because
Hmm.
they understand, they realize how efficient and how fluid I can keep them back there,
You
because
took
it's
the
more
words
than
right out
just
of my
keeping
mouth.
everybody in line. Yeah, because it's more than just keeping everybody in line and making sure you go where you go, right? Because yeah, we can do that. But you're also dealing with the influx of emotions and
Mhm.
intensity and anxiety behind every individual. So
Yep.
it's important. Like, the pros, some of the pros is a different level. They're a little easier because they understand how to. They always need, some fun as well. It needed to be lighthearted, very fun. But you learn how to deal with them. You learn how to deal with the kids. You learn how to deal with amateurs. You learn how to deal with rising star. Everyone where their level is expressing a different, is letting out a different energy. They have a different
Yep.
level of anxiety. They have a different, so you as a person have to know how to take that in and handle that. So I've had many instances where I'm back there and I'm like, for me, it's all about connecting with the people, making sure that they're lighthearted, that they feel good, that they're having a good time. Like, if you're not having a good time, that's a problem, because I need you to go out there as your best, right? So be
Absolutely.
comfortable, right? So if I stress them out, they're already
It's
stressed
not good.
out.
No, you are definitely a calming force for
Right.
sure. Like, I love what you're back there with us, in comp. I know you keep me sane sometimes. You keep a lot of us sane, right? Between,
Yeah.
like you said, all the emotions, right, of the students, of the kids, of the amateurs, and even of the pros, like we all have anxiety because at the end of the day, we're doing this because number one, we love it. And number two, we're trying to improve, right? We want to
Mm-hmm.
get better. And we do that by training, by putting ourselves out there in front of the judges, getting scores, knowing what we need to work on to keep pushing
Right.
ourselves to the next level. But at the
Right.
same time, like you said, if we're not
No.
enjoying ourselves, we're not going to go out there and do good. So,
Thank you.
like, you are a very calming force back there. But again, you also keep it very organized. Like,
Yeah.
kudos
People
to
that
you.
know me know, look, this is what needs to be done. It's all about, being assertive. This is what we need from you. I give you what you need, you give me what I need. Like, let's work together. I'm all about just working together, and let's find a solution to everything. And it works. And I feel like the combination between all of us, all the people running it, is just the front desk, Jennifer and Victoria,
Yep.
these Vicky, let me get Victoria, Vicky, yeah, Vicky.
Yes.
You know, these people, they all keep it running, and everybody is, competent and efficient and passionate about their job. Then you have a good running force, and I feel that that's something that the summit has, that everyone,
Absolutely.
the judges, everybody is passionate about what their job is, and they care about it. When people care about what they're doing, they're going to give the better of themselves. If they
Absolutely.
don't, so anyway, that's my thing on that. And again, Summit has just been an amazing experience for me. Like, and me working alongside, like, in between, seeing Billy, Nelson, Kate, their conversations, being involved with the business itself has taught me, I mean,
Oh,
so
sure.
much. I'm like, oh,
Taking notes. And like, I'm going to
yeah, I
remember
learned a
this.
lot. I learned a lot about the
Absolutely.
business, and how to, they taught me a lot. These people have really taught me a lot. Billy, again, we're always learning, right? So if I'm
Always.
coaching other people,
Always.
I also have to, I'm being coached, and I have to be, it's a frame of mind. So I remember, him telling us, we would go out there. Remember, the ladies teams that I would have, we've
Hmm.
won a couple of years.
Yeah.
First, second, third, whatever it is. I don't care, second or third. We won. We were up there. We checked. But
Yep.
as the individual doing it, you don't always look at yourself that way. You don't always say, "Oh wow, they're world champion. We're world champions. I developed world champions." We do. You don't look at yourself that way. You're like, "No, I
Nope.
didn't. We didn't win first, or we didn't get it, or whatever it is." Or we don't look at ourselves that way. We don't walk with that demeanor. And Billy's somebody who, like, had to kind of, like, slap me over the head. Like, hold on, girl, don't forget, you do know
Yeah.
what you're doing. You are a
Absolutely.
professional. You are a coach. You are a champion because you've won, and you've made champions. So act like it. And I
I
said,
could
oh,
totally see Billy doing that too.
oh
Like, I can
shit.
hear
And
his
then,
voice. I can picture the whole thing. Like, Child, what are you doing? Like, come on.
and it's
But he's right.
important.
You
It's
are a
important.
badass.
He's right. No, and it's not even. It's just so funny, but it's more so that we could give ourselves more credit. Like, we don't always give ourselves enough credit for what we do. We don't look at the growth. We don't look at where we've been and where we're, like,
True.
how far we've come along. So then what happens is that shows in your demeanor, because we have that insecurity. Now the way I walk, the way I talk, the way I train people, the way
Mhm.
we're coming out on stage to get into it, we look a certain way. It shows. So in order for that thing to not show, you need to change your frame of mind. You need to play with the psychology of it. No, you need to come to a different realization that no, you are this, you are good enough, you are this, you are that. So now you walk with that demeanor, and that'll elevate the product that you're putting out. So if I'm going out there to compete and I'm going out there to perform or whatever it is, because I've changed the way I think and feel about it, I'm going to portray something. I'm going to feel it different, right? And it's going to be seen. I'm going to showcase that through my body. Now, the audience, the one who's taking that in, can read that and say, "Ooh, look at her." Because she's not trying to be something. She is being that thing. She became
Exactly.
it. She is it. Or he, whoever it is.
Authenticity.
And that's the difference. There's that difference. There's that fine line between being cocky and conceited and thinking you're better than it. That's where
It's a fine line.
you know what I mean? So anyway, thought
Well,
that
I
was
know I
important
will
to
be
share because
seeing you
again,
at Summit,
people,
right? I'm going to see you in a month
yes,
and like a week, 5 weeks
you're
away
welcome,
from
buddy.
Summit.
Yes,
I know. I'm excited for that. Before we get wrapped up for the day,
me too.
two things. Number one, where can everybody follow you? What do you have coming up? Where can they find all the info on Destiny Garcia? Obviously, I have her Destiny Garcia on too at Facebook for you, but you're not on Insta. So there's that.
Yeah.
So how can people
No,
find you on
yeah,
Facebook and find out what's
yeah.
coming up for you next?
Yeah, I would say just you can contact me on Facebook and Messenger. I was laughing because funny thing about the website, that website is so old. I have not seen it since I opened up an account in 2009 or something like that. It's so funny. I'm
It's
like, how do I
hilarious.
change that?
Yeah, that I don't know. I heard Vero trying to help you with that
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah. I'm gonna YouTube how to change that. So yeah, Facebook I feel is the best way. Or if you know someone that knows me, get my number. I'll send out my email, things like that. I'm not right at the moment. I'm not on social media. I'm not big on that. I'm working on it for business purposes because I
I
understand
know,
it's
right? We
necessary
didn't
for the
need to need
Instagram
it for
these
work.
days.
Like, mm,
Right. So I'm working on that. So yeah, right now I do private lessons. I'm doing private lessons, choreographies,
okay.
training, coaching, things like that. So just if anybody's looking for anything like that, I'm doing that right now. I'm working on starting to setting up my classes, and then eventually, you know, what comes after that, team, whatever it is, that will follow through. But I haven't set a schedule or set classes just yet. I'm
Okay. So
still,
we'll stay on the lookout for that.
reconfiguring things out. Yeah, but I'll definitely make sure that I try to put myself out there once.
You can always send
My
me the
apologies, but
information and I'll
people
post it
that
for
know me,
you.
yeah, people that know me know that I'm very like not into the I'm
Social
underground.
media.
I'm not into the technology, but yeah. But I'm learning. I'm learning and I'm
We're all
open
learning. Always be a
to
student,
grow in
right?
that.
Always learn. All right. So
Right.
before we wrap it up, last question. I ask everybody if there was one piece of advice you could give to women who want to make it in the dance industry, what would that be?
I would say remember why you're doing it. Remember why. Go back. There's a lot of noise out there in the world and anything you do, right? And if you allow yourself, we can allow ourselves to get caught in the noise, get caught in that, because it's everyday life. There's a lot going on, right? And when we have a goal, we're usually thinking about that goal and getting to that goal. So with that focus on that goal and getting all that noise, we can sometimes get sidetracked on what is who we are and what is real to us. So what I would say is from time to time, or on a consistent basis rather, always go back inside yourself, quiet yourself, go back inside yourself and remember and ask yourself, why do you do it? Why do you want to do this? Why is this something that, because everyone's connection is different, right? Everyone's connection to the industry to dance to whatever it is and they want in life is different. But if you can connect to what's your reason and you find that purpose, I just feel like you get a better grip on what you want and you clear the path for just a better getting to that direction quicker without all of the interferences of, oh, but I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not doing it right. Oh, I'm not. No. Why am I doing this? Is oh, because I love the way the rhythm makes me feel. Oh, because I love the way I feel when I move and my body moves. Oh, because I love the way I make others feel when they watch me. Because even if they're not dancing and they're watching me dance, I get to bring them in that moment, in that warp of just
Mm-hmm.
pure love and joy and dance. And that feeling feels good to me that I can bring someone into that. And I want to
Yes.
keep bringing more people into that. And I want to keep projecting that to people. And so you see what I mean? Like for me, that would be it. For somebody else, it's something completely different,
Mm-hmm.
but find that thing, find what it is. It's much harder to be knocked off when your foundation is sturdy, and that's the foundation, I believe. That's the foundation to someone's truth, why they
Love
do
it.
it, why are you connected to it, what's your connection to it, what does it mean to you to do this and be this, and you connect with that and you understand it, you realize it, you live it, you breathe it. All the extra stuff is, it's gonna be hard. That's now you're deflecting. It's gonna be hard for that to knock you down. So
Yeah.
that's, I know, I extended it, but I
I
think
love
that
it.
that is what I would say to people,
I love it. I love
women.
it. Thank you so much. I am so grateful that you came on the show. You know how much I love you. You know how much I respect you. I mean, when I started putting together my list of women that I wanted to showcase on this, platform, you were one of the first people I thought of. And we've talked about this before. We've talked about how little credit women in this industry really do get. It's
Hmm.
just the patriarchy of the system, right? The credit always goes to the guy, the attention always goes to the guy. But there's so much that women do that just doesn't get discussed, or for whatever reason, like it just
Yeah.
the light is not shown on them. So I'm so grateful that you agreed to be on this because I really just wanted everyone to know how much you do and how amazing you really are. Because you're one of my favorite people,
Yeah.
period.
Thank you.
So I love you. Thank you
Same.
for coming
Thank you.
on. I will give you the biggest
Yeah.
hug in
No.
5 weeks.
Are we gonna hang up right now?
No, you can say
Can
something.
I say exit? Thank you.
Yes, yes, you can say an exit. Thank
No,
you.
but thank you for creating this platform. For women to be heard. And I do feel that I'm grateful that nowadays the culture of the community and the dance is evolving, and we women like us, people like us, a lot of the women that we know these days are just breaking those barriers and elevating that, because it's true, the culture of this community is very
Mhm.
male dominant, very very,
Yeah.
and I mean this would be a whole other conversation. Like for real, I would have a whole other conversation on this and how the culture of it has evolved, and from where it was, because it was, even if we think it's still, if it's thing now, imagine what it was before.
I know.
Women didn't even have a say. Before it was the leader, is how I do it, and the leader does it, and if you don't get it right, you can't follow. And what's wrong with you, follower? Because you're not a good follower.
Mhm.
Nowadays, where we teach, no, every individual is responsible for themselves. The follower is accountable for her body and what she does. The leader is accountable for his body and what she does, and how we make the other feel. And let's be in the middle and make each other feel comfortable. Not back
Yeah.
then. Back then it's what I say and that's what goes. And if you feel uncomfortable, make it work. There were a lot of different. So I like, piggybacking off of that, I want to say how much I'm grateful, how much our community has just evolved, and now you see women really
Mhm.
dominating the community in different lights, and not only in the light of, because at that time the only thing a woman was good for was lady styling, and
Yep.
I'm like, whoa, that's not necessarily true. That's not
Mhm.
necessarily true. We do so much more. Like, and that's what, like I
Absolutely.
said, the Descarga Latina women gave to me, because they showed me it's more than just a specific type of lady styling. It could be a certain type of style, a certain feeling, the technique, all different, things like that. And I get to see that with them, and that's what opened that doors for me. And then just like I said, it's evolved. Like nowadays, I'm grateful seeing women lead. Now we're getting the opportunity to teach lead and follow classes. You know how difficult that was for me to get hired to be able to teach a lead and follow class,
Mhm.
because I'm under the umbrella of a male. And it's not the male that's doing it. It's not my
Oh,
partner.
no.
My
It's not
partner,
your
if
problem.
anything, gave me the opportunity, put me in a position that I get the opportunity to do these things. It's some of the people, it's some of the machismo of like, no, I want to learn from the man, from Nelson and everything.
Mhm.
And then little do they know, Nelson will be the one, or the man will be the one to go, Destiny, you want to take this one? And then I'll come out, and then they get blown away, like, oh, snap. And they're shocked. And I'm glad that we're breaking that. And men and people like Nelson and like, some of them, they open that up. They give us that opportunity. Like, no, go
Yeah.
ahead. They don't want it all for themselves, because
Yep.
it's everybody's a collective in that. But anyway, yeah, I'm just grateful to that, the fact that it is evolving, and it's just continuing to evolve. And you doing something like this gives a platform for people to speak on it. And we need to do a part 2, because I want to speak on it.
We're going to do a part 2. In fact, I'm already working on a concept to do a panel discussion specifically on the
Oh,
evolution of women in the business.
that's a good one.
So, I mean, if you would like to be a part of that panel, you're in.
I would.
We'll do it.
I'm
It'll
in.
be a special episode for sure.
Oh,
I'll let everybody know when
please.
that's happening. I have a couple of ideas for some special episodes to happen throughout the year. And I'm just letting everybody know now, the week of Summit, there will be no episode.
We'll be
I'm
working.
off that week because I'll be at Summit and I'm not broadcasting the show from there. Sorry, I have too much on my plate. Destiny knows we can't add anything else to that week. It's packed enough. We're good. But thank you, my love. I appreciate you for coming on, for the things that you've said, and for leading by example for all of us. So
Thank you, Sharonne. Thank you.
love you.
Miss you.
Thank you. And next
Thank
week,
you guys
everybody.
for watching.
Yes, thank you everybody for watching. Join me next week where my guest is from Costa Rica, Lucia Jimenez. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
she's
I love
fabulous.
that girl.
I love her. Super
Nena,
talented.
she's
She's
so
going to be
fire.
on. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for
And
tuning
her
in. I will
spirit,
see you.
her spirit is so.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah, she's amazing. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another episode of Women of Dance. Once again, I'm your host, Sharonne Vinokurov, and I will see you next week. Bye.